87-81, Colorado beats Arizona State here at the Coors Event Center on senior night. Askia Booker, 29 points. And it was kind of an interesting start to this game, and we found out what was motivating Askia Booker, more so than it just being his last game here at the Coors Event Center.
Yeah, he said, about an hour before the game, Jerry Blakes of ASU started mouthing off to him, and he took it extremely personally. And I guess those guys go back all the way to L.A. and that sort of thing, but, Askia didn't take it as just friendly jawing around. He took it really personal and said that, he completely gives Jerry Blakes all the credit for his performance tonight. So, it's one thing to come out here and just be fired up for senior night. Then they give him some extra motivation. It's like poking a sleeping bull, but, the bull was already awake and they continued to poke it. So maybe not smart on ASU's side in that sense.
I know Utah is supposed to be this team's rival, but it feels like Arizona State is a program. There's more bad blood between CU and them. An opponent a couple years ago, Baczynski here at the Coors Event Center takes down Josh Scott. I think CU fans kind of are starting to embrace ASU maybe as their rival.
Yeah, I don't think there's a coach that CU fans hate more than Herb Sendek. And it's just something about ASU. There's always close games. It seems to bring out the worst in the refs, which brings out the worst in the fans. And it kind of just gets that hostile atmosphere in here. Even though there wasn't that many people in here, it just got that, that hostile atmosphere that really fuels the team. And something about ASU just, brings all that out. So I think, as this moves forward, obviously CU wants Arizona to be their rival because that means, you're competing with the best of the best. But it seems like naturally the ASU rivalry is starting to develop.
Dustin Thomas, 5 for 5 from the field. Kind of his performance gets overshadowed a little bit by Askia Booker. Josh got a huge tip in down the stretch. You had Xavier Talton, Trayshawn Fletcher making clutch free throws. It was kind of the opposite of Thursday when you heard Tad Boyle say no one on the team played well. Tonight, almost everybody contributed at least something, even Dominique Collier.
Yeah, when you score more than 85, I think they scored 86 points. When you score that many points, you're going to have to get a lot of effort out of different guys because, Askia can score 29 like we've seen him do on many nights, and that can end up being nothing when you don't have those other guys coming around. Dustin, he's scored more points. I don't know if he's played a better game. There's something about his confidence. I think it was the matchup he had tonight. He was very confident there and completely took advantage of it, and you finally saw him use that length. You hear all this talk about long athletic guys, and they're not always using that to the best of their advantage. Tonight he absolutely used his length, using those long 2 steps, getting to the rim, stretching out that arm for easy layups, and that was huge. Obviously this season may be a lost cause at this point, but getting Dustin Thomas to turn that confidence and get that rolling could be huge for the future.
Yeah, Colorado did score 87 in this and shot almost 60% from the field. We saw Josh Scott in pain again tonight. As Tad Boyle said, he's clearly not even close to 100%. I thought it was interesting. I asked Josh Scott after the game if he's going to need surgery after the season. He made it sound like that's not going to be what's going to get him over the hump. It's going to be more rest, rehab. You got to be concerned, though, about that going forward.
Yeah, it's a concern. He was not happy all night. He just looked like, he's struggling out there. And credit to him for getting out there and playing amazing defense down the stretch, especially to help get that win when he's obviously not comfortable. But he said, I'm not here to complain about my back. I'm not going to put a percentage on it. All I'll tell you is it really hurts. But I'm here to win games and produce. And that's got to be nice for Tad Boyle to hear.
What's crazy, though, Ryan, is if this team plays in the CBI, this probably won't be Askia Booker's last game here. But I think for most fans, this is what they're going to remember. I don't think they're going to probably try to forget the fact that if they do play in the CBI, that they ever did.
If they play in the CBI and no one's here, did it really happen?
It's kind of like a tree in the forest.
Yeah,
right,
exactly. There you go.
So 2 more games before the Pac-12 tournament. They head out to Washington. Real quick, though, let's mention Kevin Nelson and Jeff Bates, 2 walk-on seniors. Jeff Bates got a chance to check in. What was it, less than a second left on the clock? As Tad Boyle said, these guys bust their butt every day in practice. They get no notoriety. During that press conference, I'm sitting there going, why did these guys even do it? It's a lot of work for basically very little reward.
Yeah, I think what it comes down to is the love of the game. They love playing basketball. They come out here every day and they get to play, and they get to play at a high level, and that's what it's got to be because, unless the girls are loving on the walk-ons, I don't know. But those are the guys, and Skia Booker said it the best. You don't want to be guarding those guys in practice because, they thrive off of just getting maybe a nice comment from Tad Boyle after practice. That's the recognition that they get. So they're going to go and they're going to bust their butts every single day to try and get that rebound and make your guy run. And that's how they contribute to the team and make them better every day because, like Skia said, if you're not giving your all and you're guarding Jeff Bates in practice, he's going to burn you or he's going to get that offensive rebound where Tad's going to tell you to run. And without that, you can't really have a successful program.
After the Washington trip, Ryan, you're going to be out in Las Vegas covering the Pac-12 tournament. You're going to be able to pull yourself away from the craps table long enough to cover the Buffs out there?
Yeah, hopefully we'll have more than one game to cover out. As long as they can keep me away from the craps table, the better, because that means I'm not losing money.
All right, well, be sure to check out Ryan's content when he's out in Las Vegas.